brilliant. So I just want to welcome everybody that's watching, and a special welcome to anyone that's new to me, new to Janie, and just new to coaching in general. And really a massive welcome to anyone that's struggling today, because you're in the right place. This is going to be an amazing interview, and we're going to, get into a lot of wisdom and tips and mindset stuff, because Jane's a great coach. So listen for the similarities in our stories and just ignore the differences, and you're going to get so much from it when you do that. So I'm Andrea from Dominant Mindset Coaching. I was a dominatrix for 12 years. I was alcoholic for 6, and now I help people who are anxious and overwhelmed to turn setbacks into their own personal power using the 5D power process. And today with me, I've got Jane. And Jane, do you want to introduce yourself and tell us a wee bit about what you do and who you are?
Yeah, hi everyone. Thanks, Andrea, for having me on the podcast. It's brilliant. So, yeah, I am Jane, and I entitle myself the Shine Coach. And what I do is I help women who have been trying to lose weight all of their lives to lose the weight for the very last time. And it's a total transformation. It just doesn't happen that it's the weight that gets lost. It's the whole confidence, etc. for the women. Just a fact here. I don't know if you knew that it's roughly for a woman that they would be on a diet for 17 years of their life, in the entire life, and they could lose the weight and gain it 9 times. So they could lose their own body weight and gain it again 9 times. So there's absolutely no need for that. There's no need for calorie counting, points, red green days. It's just about your mindset and where you are on whether you're hungry or not. And it's as simple as that, but obviously you need the coaching through it. But it's brilliant.
Amazing. That's so cool. And is that something that you went through yourself so that you could, is that why you're doing the coaching around it? Because it's something that you've experienced?
Yeah, well, when I was younger, about 18 or so, I kept going to the aerobics classes and decided that, well, I went to the aerobics classes like every night of the week while I was working. And basically it was to be as skinny as I possibly could, because that was my goal. Seeing all these people, I had to be skinnier, I had to be, pretty. And it's like, it's not changed this day and age, has it? With the thank God there wasn't Instagram when I was doing this. But yeah, so I used to go to aerobics. So then I decided, well, I'm spending all this money going, I may as well train. So I trained to do that. And then I got into the diet and exercise. I was nigh on anorexic at one stage because of my mindset. But the health side of it and the fitness side of it, I could take women through that all the way through up to now. And it's been amazing. I've done everything. I've done Zumba, spin classes, aerobics, step, if you remember step.
Yeah.
And I've always done something. And now I'm doing Pilates and yoga, although with the COVID, I've not actually taught classes at the moment, but I've always been into health and fitness and looking at what I'm eating. Yeah.
Amazing. So, Jane, what would you say is, in your opinion, what do you think makes a woman powerful?
To make a woman is powerful when they are confident, and they're confident in their own body, and they're confident who they are. Now, a lot of people that I actually coach don't know who they are, and they're still finding out who they are. And once that confidence, and they can see what they want, who they are, where they want to go, the power comes with that. It's like finding Jane, finding Andrea. It's once they start finding themselves, it's the power within of not people pleasing, not avoiding anything, and being able to put up with conflict and just to speak their truth. Yeah.
Love it. And what is something that you've had to battle through personally that's had you come out the other side more powerful?
I think Definitely people pleasing. There was something that happened when I was younger that set up my life for the way I've always been. And I'm 60 next year, and my mum died when she was 60. So it's like a really good time for me to like get a grip of what I'm doing. But this people pleasing, that this something that happened, I was always people pleasing. Good girl, Jane, got to do this, Jane. Yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full, sir. And it's only really fairly recently, as you'll know, Andrea, that it's the light bulb's gone on with me personally. I mean, I can coach people and tell them what to do, but it's that blind spot that you don't see. And for me, I can only describe it as like coming over a bridge. And it's like in the Disney movies where you see people going over the bridge and then the bridge just disappears, so you can't go back there again. So it's the people pleasing and the avoiding conflict. And yeah, that's really improved with me.
And what was that like to go through that process from being a people pleaser, not being aware of it, to being aware of it, to going through that process to the other side and right over that bridge, as you mentioned?
Well, at first it was scary. The fear set in, and I can't do that. I'll just revert to type. I can't ask that. I can't do this. I can't do that. So I've got an acronym that I use. Just as a little bit of an aside to this, it's SAT. So it's I use suggest, ask, and tell. Mm-hmm. So the first thing is to suggest. So you might suggest to your partner, you know, let's go to Liverpool for Christmas, let's go to Italy. So that's a suggest. And then the ask, the ask is, it's got to be specific. So it can't just be, you know, I want more quality time with you, because if you just say that, then it's going to be, they could say, oh, we'll take you to the movies then. You go to the movies and you're just watching a screen. It's got to be specific. I want to curl up on the settee with you, read a book and have a natter. And then there's a tell, which I am now, because of this transformation, mm-hmm. I am really comfortable with this. And I will go and see my kids 3 times, 4 times a year. Yeah. I will go and see my friends on the Saturday night. I will do that. And just telling, you know, and telling, not just partners, but, you know, telling family, friends that I'm going to do that. And the transformation, yeah, it was fearful. But the more that you do it, the more that you go through that, yeah, the easier it becomes. It's training the muscle, isn't it? So the easier it does become.
I love that. And what I'm kind of present to is that even though you're telling other people, really it's about telling yourself.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm doing this and this is important. And the more you do that, the more you train your brain to recognize that you're important.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, you know, like my mum's generation and her mum's generation, we've been conditioned that, you know, historically, not everybody, I'm not saying everybody is, but historically it's that, you know, a woman just does as she's told, basically. That is historical, isn't it? And so it get your beliefs and your opinions and your values, they come down the chain. And that's what I want to break for my daughter, my daughter's daughter, etc. So that you're not thinking that, you know, you are worthy and you're good enough. And ask for permission. What do you mean ask for permission? I'm doing it.
Yeah, because what's the worst thing that can happen?
You get what you want, Andrea.
Exactly. You get everything that you want. You get to do whatever the hell you like.
Absolutely.
And so what were the lessons that you learned, Julie, as a result of that? What did you take from that whole process?
Oh God, I just learned to be me, to tell my truth, and also don't be afraid of conflict or confrontation, because yeah, what is the worst that can happen? Somebody could shout at you, somebody could disagree with you, but you could disagree with them. The world doesn't revolve around anybody else. The world does to some extent revolve around you in your world, obviously making sure that everybody, you know, that you're being kind and fair to other people. But it's, you know, why be afraid of confrontation? And that's what I've been all my life, avoiding confrontation. Yes, I'll do whatever you want. Yeah, just, you know, I like like you, vegetarian. No, you're not. You're having a bacon butty. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the thing is, when we avoid the external conflict, and what do we create? Conflict in here.
Oh gosh. And being a people pleaser, you're being a liar, because you're being a liar to yourself.
Yes.
You lie all the time.
And not just a liar, manipulative. Because what we're doing is we're manipulating people's perception of us.
Yeah.
And when I heard that for the first time, I was like,
oh my God,
like that. I'm not manipulative. And then when I really thought about it, I was like, yeah, because that's manipulation. Textbook.
Yeah.
You know, not being true, because who you're showing to people as a people pleaser isn't who you are.
Absolutely not.
And then that mask will slip, and like, and then they'll see it, and it's like, you can't keep that up.
I know. And you can, to a certain extent. It's like in new relationships, isn't it? Where you go, somebody might form this new relationship. Oh, everything's lovely and rosy. And do you like that? Yeah, I like that. Do you like peaches? Yeah, I like peaches. Do you like nectaries? Yeah, I like nectaries. And then further down the line, I can't stand peaches. And then you say, oh no, I don't want a peach. I thought you liked peaches. Changed my mind.
Yeah, and like, it's crazy because like I I volunteered to go up to the prisons to help guys that were in Berlin and they were struggling with addiction. So I would go up to them and talk to them about alcohol, and it was through a 12-step program, and I used to go up and share, and some of the stories that I heard in there, and you know what I realised was that most of the reasons why they were in jail was down to people pleasing. They've got to look hard in front of their mates. They can't lose face. They want people to think that they've got a reputation, and it's like, that is how powerful that people pleasing is. That's what it takes people.
Yeah.
They expect me to kick off, so I'll kick off. They expect me to do this, so I'll do this. And it's even, I'll just do that because if everyone else is doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have you sat in a pub and somebody says you want another drink and you don't really want another drink, but you have one because everybody else is having one? Yeah. Or you have a starter in a restaurant because everybody else is having one.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're scared to stand alone, because we think, oh God, and that's been drummed into us since we started school.
Yeah.
Fit in at all costs, because you don't want to be sitting yourself at lunchtime at the dinner table. Like,
I know. And that's where you give your power away, isn't it?
Yes.
Because you can give your power away to absolutely anybody or anything. Yeah. Now, I for what I do, like 99% of my clients give their power away to this lump of metal that sits in the bathroom and that's got a needle on. Yeah. And you know, before somebody stands on, they might think, what I'm going to think if it's going to be a certain number. If it's a certain number, I'm going to be really cheesed off or really angry, or if it's a certain number, I'm going to be absolutely buzzing. And so they have it in the minds. You know, I see it all the time. So it's higher than you wanted. Absolutely ruined your day. Absolutely ruined your day, and everybody else's that come into contact with you. And then it's a really good number. That's a great number. Go on then. I'll have that, whatever it is. I'll have that cake, that hot dog. The mad thing is, what I used to do, you're going to laugh this. I was obsessed with weighing myself when I was younger. And I would weigh myself every day. And then I would like weigh myself. And when my mum was alive, I'd go to her house and her scales would weigh less. So, oh, really, my scales are out. And you tell yourself a story, and it's the power that you give. It's a power that you give. But it's not just the scales, is it? It's a power that you give. You can give to a waiter. You know, have you finished with that? Well, I hadn't really, but you know, I better had to say I had. You can give it to the garage mechanic who says that you need 4 new tyres at £1,000. You can give it away to absolutely anybody, friends, family. But it's recognizing that, isn't it? And it's recognizing who you are.
Yeah,
Crazy.
and the thing about the
Crazy.
scales is that scale, that lump of metal, has no idea you're even upset.
Because it's just a set of scales. It's like you say, a rose is just a rose.
Yeah, exactly. The scale's just the scale. The scale's just sitting there like waiting to be stood on. And then it's got no idea that you're happy, upset, whatever. It's just giving it a number. And then we're like, fucking bastard. It's just told me that and it's like beat yourself up time. And even like like you were saying, the waiter, the mechanic, your pal, your mother last time that she phoned and all of that stuff, they're not lying at night awake thinking about you.
No, not at all.
It's only us. We let it live in our head rent free.
Jackanory, the Jackanory story that just goes on. You know, something happens and we make, or something doesn't happen, and we make a whole story out of it.
Exactly. It's just mad, isn't it? How
so we're giving the power away to your thoughts, then, aren't you? You're giving your power away to the future story and the catastrophizing and the histrionics.
And then we keep that thought and we go, well, I'll keep that one. That's a good one. I'll keep that thought.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you're in a spiral down, and then you've shared that thought with everybody else, and you've enrolled them into it because they're now fully bought in. Maybe
come on in, join the party. Join the pity party.
See, whenever I had an argument with a boyfriend, I knew who to phone. I knew who would agree with me. So I'd go and instead of phoning the person that I knew would be like, maybe you're overreacting, because that's not what I wanted. I would go and phone the people that would go, you're right, he is a bastard, and I think you, by the time that phone call's finished, I'm dumping. And it's over.
Yeah.
And I'm right and he's wrong. And then guess what? I take that into the next relationship.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, brilliant, let's put more stuff into my baggage. We just can't just lump that. By the time I got to some of my later relationships, I was literally dragging my feet along into them.
Yeah. And you're looking for the same characteristics, aren't you? You're looking for the, and as you know, that the mind goes to the negative all the time. Let's find evidence for this. Let's find evidence he's the same as every other person. Let's find evidence that they're the same. And you do. Yeah,
because we set our life up that way. Yeah. Because we'd rather be right than be happy.
Yes. Yeah.
I would much rather be right than be happy. But it's just that. It's that whole thing.
It's just, it's crazy when you actually boil everything down and you look at it from the outside in, and it's just crazy, isn't it?
Just our daft minds. So here's some fun questions, and I've asked you this before, but like during coaching and stuff that we've done, but I'm going to ask you them again anyway and see if anything's changed. But if there's two things that we know is for sure going to happen in our lives, right? One, we're going to die. Two, we've got no idea when. So as it stands today, if you had 24 hours left, how would you spend them?
Right, there's a place in Anglesey called Porthelion, and I grew up in Anglesey for 3 weeks every year when I used to go with mum and dad and my brother in a caravan. And there's this magical place. It's got a lighthouse, and it's just my happy place. And I would go there, and whoever could come with me, let's go there and just listen to the sea, watch the sea, just read together, laugh together. Jokes, that'd be brilliant. Just that's where I would go.
So let's stretch it a wee bit. If you had a week, how would you spend it?
In the same place.
Love it. Okay, same place.
You've got to look it up. It's Porthelion, and there's this lighthouse which is at the end of it.
Yeah.
And it actually you can hire it out, or you can get you can stay there. So I get everybody that I can there, and we would bring games, we would do the charades, we would do singing, we would do jokes, we would bring the photograph albums, and lots of food and drink, and just have a ball, and even jump off the cliffs, do some co-steering. Never done it before, but let's do it. Do a bit of water skiing, whatever.
Brilliant, amazing. And what if you had a year? how would you spend the year?
Yeah, so if I had a year, I would love to do on a world cruise. Just go around, again, whoever could come with me will come with me, and just visit all the places that I really want to visit, you know, Italy, go down to Australia, Canada, Grand Canyon, and let's just go around, just keep going around the world and visiting, traveling places with everybody that I love.
That sounds absolutely incredible.
Are you coming?
Yeah, and what stops you from just going to, is it Porthallion?
Oh, well, I'll be going next year. It's nothing stopping me. We will definitely be going next year when the weather's nice. I've got a friend there actually, because I've got a friend who we grew up together. She actually lives there. Okay. She was on the caravan site, and she actually does the wild water swimming there. So I would do that.
Wow.
I know.
Amazing.
I would do that.
Yeah, give me a shout for next year. I'm up for that. That sounds
brilliant.
Amazing. So if you were to meet your 20-year-old self, what advice would you give her?
Give up the celery sticks, love. I mean, what is the point, honestly? Well, I was so focused, as I've said, I was so focused. In fact, there was myself and one of my best friends. We would meet sometimes for lunch, and we would just literally eat celery sticks and carrot sticks. And it would be, just stop stressing because you're not living, you know, just take each day as it comes and be your true self. And I would, if only I knew then what I know now about people pleasing and avoiding. But it's taken till now for me to get to where I am, and it's a really great place. And my life would have turned out differently, no doubt. But, you know, it is what it is, isn't it? But definitely don't sweat the small stuff and just have as much fun as you possibly can.
Love that. And what do you think your 90-year-old self would say to you if she could see you now? What do you think?
I have my 8-year-old self and my 90-year-old self sitting on a shelf in front of me, simply for this. The fact is, I'm as I say, I'm 60 next year, so I'm like sort of a bit right of centre for moving towards my 90-year-old self. And she would. Did you say, what would she say to me, or what am I saying to her?
What would she say to you?
She'd say to me, like, it took you a while, Jane, didn't it? It took you a while for the penny to drop, for the light bulb to go on. But you know, I've got the rest of the time to make up for that. And I think she would be proud. She would be proud of me, of what I've achieved. I have, when I look back, I have achieved a lot. I worked in a bank for 40 years. I've been a makeup artist. I've done the fitness classes, etc. And yeah, I've done a lot other than that. She would be pleased with me, but from now on until then, she's going to be even more prouder of me.
Okay. Love it. I love it, love it, love it. So what sort of legacy would you love to leave behind when you depart this earth?
Oh my gosh, my heart really, because of where I come from when I was younger, and the people pleasing and what happened to me, etc. I just think it is so sad. It's such a waste that we don't actually go into schools and we tell the youngsters of today, you know, what could possibly happen in the future. Not just about people pleasing, but you know, it's mindfulness. Junk food is a big one with me as well. You know, how the kids, some children, I'm not saying all of them, but you know, how the food industry is manipulating, and they don't really understand. And I don't think that's taught either, you know, that you have a choice and what could happen to your body, but and to educate them to, you know, if you don't do that, that will happen. And whether the penny would drop with them, I don't know, but at least, you know, try and change the course of junk food and just eating when you want, when they just say, oh, I'm eating because she's eating and I'm having a bag of chips at 9 o'clock because she's having a bag of chips at 9 o'clock. So the legacy I would like to leave is just to make the world a better place, bit by bit, at least help the women that I'm helping and carrying on helping the women that I'm helping to not beat themselves up about, how far. It's like me, it's taken me this long to realize who I am and what I'm doing, but and diet and exercise, etc., food and exercise, to have a better relationship with food and their body, and that would just be amazing if I was just known for helping people to get to where they want to be.
Amazing. And what's your why? What's your purpose? What keeps you going when it's hard?
Well, you had me in tears when we got this down to this, didn't you, Andrea? So I was saying, yes, well, it's important for me because of all the, the children, etc. Why? And it just boils right down to the fact that life is a gift. I lost my mum, as I say, she was 6. She had a stroke when she was 54. She was vegetative state for 6 years, being fed through her stomach. So that was horrendous to watch. Then she died when she was 60. I lost my dad last year to COVID. And it's just, life is a gift. And that is why I do what I do now, because I want to help people realize that it isn't, you don't have to do what people say you have to do. You have to find yourself and do what is the right thing for you. No, get the emotion.
I just love that. It's just so beautiful. Like, life is a gift.
Yeah.
It's just lovely. And have you any final advice for any women or anyone that's watching? This is universal, this stuff, but any final advice for anyone watching?
Go find yourself. Just find out what makes you tick. You might be a wife, a husband, a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, a friend. But who are you? You might be, you're a lot of things to a lot of people. Yeah. But who are you? We are all unique. For us, actually, another statistic for you, or another fact, might not even be a fact, but it's thereabouts. For us to be who we are today, for us to, get it right back to basics, for us to be here and how we were made, you were made and I were made, it's a 1 in 400 trillion chance that you are who you are today. You are unique. And that is a big thing, to say that you are unique. No two people are the same, even twins are not the same. So you are unique. So find out your purpose in the world, find out what you want to do, find out who you are. There you go.
Amazing. So how can people contact you?
Yes, if you want to reach out, I will gladly give you time. There's no hidden agenda. I'll give you an hour of my time chatting through, and you just email me on Jane, Jane, at theshinecoach.com, or one word. So it's Jane, Jane, at theshinecoach.com. Just drop me an email just to say hi, and if you agree with what I'm saying.
Excellent. And do you have a Facebook group or anything people can join?
Yeah, the Shine Coach.
The Shine Coach. Okay, good. Yeah. And I'll put all of these details onto the comments and the description for these posts as well, so that everybody can get them. But this has been amazing. This has been really, really insightful. I've got loads from it. I'm so glad that we spoke so much about people pleasing, because it's such a massive thing. God. It really is, and it can hold you back in so many different areas of your life, and it ties in with fear, it ties in with guilt, it ties in with all these kind of negative emotions. So absolutely brilliant. Really,
and you recognise it in people as well, don't you? You recognise it in other people. It's like the what is it, the Raz. Once you know it, you can't unknow it, can you? And you see it everywhere. It's like your red car. Oh, I got a red car. You've got a red car.
Yeah, as soon as you tell it it's important, that's what the brain does. Goes and finds more of it, and finds it everywhere. And that's just how it works, and it's so powerful. So use it for something that's going to propel you forward rather than hold you. Absolutely. Amazing. Great. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
and I'll pop this up on YouTube and in all different places. And but just this is great, so thank you.
Oh, thank you, Andrea. I've loved every minute of it.
Cool. Right, take care. Bye.
Yeah, bye.